Dear friends, welcome to my Edu Dreams. In the previous video, we have discussed about basic concept of visually impaired students. In this video, we will discuss about a very important topic, and that is topic number 2, characteristics of visually impaired students. दृष्टिबाधित छात्रों की विशेषताएं. In Urdu, it is बसारत से महरूम तलबा की खुसूसियात. This topic is very useful for B.Ed students who are pursuing their B.Ed in first semester, and also the title paper is Education for Children with Special Needs. The code of the paper is B.Ed 1013. If you like our video, please like and share among your friends, and also don't forget to subscribe our video so that you will get all important educational videos. Now let us start about the topic. Characteristics of visually impaired students. This is presentation by Dr. Syed Hayat Basha, Assistant Professor of Education, Aligarh Muslim University Center, Malappuram, Kerala. If you have any query regarding this topic, you can directly send your message through WhatsApp on 977 36 338828. And also you can write to my email hayat83n@gmail.com. Introduction. The individual receives impression of the world only through the senses. Because senses are very important for every person, especially for the visually impaired children. So without senses, he cannot perceive or he cannot receive anything. He or she cannot receive anything. It is natural, therefore, that any deviation from normal vision has significance from the educational standpoint. So, more impression reach the brain for interpretation through the sense of sight than through all other senses combined. As visual difficulties influence the life of the individuals from different angles, it will be easy to assess the characteristics of the visually impaired children from the following points of view. So there are important characteristics like educational characteristics, intellectual characteristics, achievement characteristics, social and emotional characteristics, behavioral characteristics, and communication characteristics. So the visually impaired students are having the following characteristics like educational, intellectual, achievement, social and emotional, behavioral and communication characteristics. So we will discuss all these characteristics one by one in further slides. Characteristics of visually impaired students. For your convenience, I have made these important points in this way. Educational characteristics, intellectual characteristics, achievement characteristics, social and emotional characteristics, behavioral characteristics, and communication characteristics. We will discuss in detail one by one. The first characteristics, educational characteristics. Visually impaired children have learning difficulties. Because visually impaired students, they face learning disabilities. That is why they have educational characteristics. Visually impaired children have learning difficulties because the concept formation for the congenitally blind is restricted, as they do not have all the necessary sensations. Because visually impaired students, they do not have, especially congenitally blind students, they do not have the necessary sensations. That is why they face problem in forming the concepts. Whatever the concept, if we are trying to explain, they cannot form the concepts. So they face difficulty in learning. They also have difficulty in perceiving things in space or the third dimensions. If you are explaining to the children who are visually impaired, so they will face difficulty in pursuing things in space, or also they face difficulty in third dimensions. They also not only have poor abstract concepts imaginativeness, spontaneous fantasy, and dreams. They cannot deal with random shapes less developed because unless concepts are formed, reasoning becomes handicapped. So they have the poor understanding in concept and also forming concepts, and they cannot imagine the things properly, and also they cannot dream properly. So they face problems. That is why they are considered as educational characteristics. Intellectual characteristics. This is second important characteristics of visually impaired students. Poor intelligence. They have poor intelligence. Poor intelligence is also problem of the visually impaired children, and on certain tests of intelligence they are found to be poor as compared to the normal children. Concept formation largely depends upon the exploration of the environment. So, if we are comparing visually impaired students with the normal students, so visually impaired students are having a less intelligence, or we can say poor intelligence. Normal children, they have rich intelligence, but visually impaired children, they have poor intelligence. When we are giving any concept to form, so they cannot form. That is why they face difficulty. As these children are handicapped, they are unable to do so and perform poorly in intelligence tests. So they cannot perform properly and they perform poorly. That is why their intelligence is very poor. So this is one of the second most important characteristics of visually impaired students. As compared to the normal children, such children are noted to have defects in school achievement. So this is achievement characteristics of visually impaired students. When we are comparing with the normal children, they will have defects in school achievement. There is some academic retardation by at least 1 to 2 years. They also have slow acquisition of information by observation with slow reading rate and lack of concreteness in instructional procedures. So we can say they are the slow learners. They cannot read things properly. They read very slowly. They observe the things and they receive information very slowly. So in this way they achieve their marks or their learning very slowly. So if we are comparing with the normal children are achieving things very fast, whereas if we are comparing with the visually impaired children, they read slowly and they achieve slowly. Social and emotional characteristics. This is another important characteristics of visually impaired children. The visually impaired children face the problems of social and emotional adjustment in the various aspects of their life. It is clearly understood that the visually impaired children, they face problems in the society, in their social life, because they cannot meet the friends or meet the relatives or meet with the friends so freely in the society. So that's why they face problem of social and emotional adjustment. They cannot adjust in the society and they cannot adjust emotionally in their life. They are devalued or ridiculed by normal children and they lead small adjustment. The visually impaired children develop negative self-concept as they are underestimated. So this is one of the characteristics of the visually impaired children, that they develop negative self-concept because they are underestimating themselves. So that is why they cannot adjust socially and emotionally in their life. Behavioral characteristics. These children have poor self confidence for which they avoid the people and the situation. It is very clear that the children with visually impaired with vision impairment, they have poor self confidence. That is why they avoid people and also they avoid situations. They are hardly treated and ridiculed by others. They are very irritative due to social deprivation and neglect. They show poor learning and backwardness. As the visual impaired children do not receive stimuli from others, the nonverbal body languages like smiling, looking, nodding, shaking hands are less developed among them. So these kind of children, they behave in different ways. Their self confidence is very low and they cannot mingle with the people. Their body language also like smiling, because they cannot smile properly and they cannot look properly, they will nod head and they cannot shake hands properly. So all these things with the help of non-verbal language also they shows poor learning. So this is the behavioral characteristics. Thank you for watching my Edu Dreams. My next video will be on the topic etiology of vision impairment. दृष्टि हानि के कारण बीनाई की कमी या खराबी की वजूहात. How was my video? Let me know in the comment box. Subscribe my Edu Dreams if you have not done. See you in the next video. Till then, stay connected with my Edu Dreams. I wish you a happy learning and take care.